Hi everyone. Today's card is inspired by the lovely Phil Martin at Sentimentally Yours. All the products I'm using today are going to be from Sentimentally Yours, apart from the Tangerine Prism ink, which is a dye-based ink. I've already cut lots of pieces. I've cut my layers, so we'll pop all that to one side and I'll show you what I've used. So for the backing papers, I've used the Polkas and Pinstripes Enchanted, and I've chosen a very unusual colour. I've chosen this beautiful, almost orange going into a green grey colour, and I thought I'd team that up with the same colour combination in the polka dots. So that's the backing papers. For the florals, which are absolutely stunning, I'm using the Enchanted Flower. So this is the Enchanted Flower stamp set. And when you stamp these out, you get this beautiful dotty effect on them. I'm using the Adornments collection Floral Finery Fantastic Fronds. So this is your leaves, and I've chosen the open leaves for this card. So we've cut those. I've cut one set of those, and this is the dies. The dragonflies, beautiful little dragonflies from the Adornments collection Shabby Dragonflies. I've chosen this size and this size, so I've gone for the plain ones. I'm using the Sentiment Edges collection, so these are quite nice sized dies, and I've cut two of these, so we've got the backing and then the sentiment to go over the top, and I've just done them in white. And then obviously the dies to cut the flowers, the Enchanted Flower Adornments collection dies. I've got my card base, which is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. So this was just a regular A4 size piece of card, scored down the middle. I'll give it a nice burnish. I've then cut myself a matte layer, which is 5 1/2 by just over 7 3/4, and then another matte layer, which is 3 3/4 by 6 1/4. And the paper sizes are 5 1/4 by 7, and then the polka dot one is 3 1/2 by 6. So this is all the products that we're going to be using, and basically we're just going to pop this card together today. So what we're going to do with this today, taking your first matte layer, we're actually going to go around all the edges and just give this a rough up. So all the way around the edges, we don't want to go too much, we don't want to rip the card, just want to give that a nice roughed up edge. It just adds a little bit of interest to the card. Now, one of the tips I could give you when you're roughing up card is don't go right to the corners, and then that way when you're lining things up it's easier to line up. So we're just going to take this piece and we're going to glue this piece down. So a nice bit of glue on the back, and we're going to glue this to our matte layer. So getting this as even as possible. Now this one we're going to put onto our base with foam tape. So just pop in a piece of foam tape all around the edges. Put some foam tape in the middle to stop the card from buckling, and just a couple of tiny little pieces either side. Always give your foam tape a good press down. And again, with the outer sides, just take the tape up halfway, and then that way when we pop this on the base card, we've got some wiggle room. I know that I left about 1/4 of an inch difference. There we go. And that has now given us a little bit of height. We can take off our foam back in, and there's our first base layer. Now we're going to do exactly the same with this next layer. So taking in your scissors again and just gently roughing up the edges. There we go, and leaving the corners. So we're going to do exactly the same with this. We're going to pop this on top of the matte layer. Give this a turn over and a press down. And again, with this one, we're going to pop this up on foam tape. So again, just going around the edges. Bring this one in. I'm going to try and get that as central as possible. The nice thing about putting the stripes on the back is you can actually line things up. So that's the base of the card done. Now what we're going to do is pop our flowers down the centre, and we've got some tiny ones here, and I'm going to pop one just there and one here. So if we glue the backs of these, I'm going to pop one at the top. I think I'm going to have it so that it, let me just give that a little press down. And then the next one, I'm going to put on this angle. Just give that a press down, leave it for a couple of seconds just to grab. And then the last one, I'm going to go back this way. So pop that one down and just give that a second to grab. And then these tiny ones, I thought I would put one in this space. And one in this space. And that's the flowers done. Now with the sentiments, you've got your front and your back in. I'm going to pop a bit of glue on my glass mat, and I'm just going to go in and pop some glue on the back. And we're going to line this up There. Perfect. Just slightly, there we go. And we'll do the same with the second one. Line this one up. So that's the two done. Just gonna clean up this glue. These, just for you sentiments, are going to go either side of the center panel, and they're going to sit right on top of this white edge. Just pop a little bit of glue just down the spine, and if we take this in and just line it up top and bottom with the top edge. Now this is the 6-inch sentiment. I think you'll find it's about 6 1/4, and that is exactly the right length for the sizes that I've given you for the base, so there's no snipping. Otherwise, if you needed to snip it off, you would have had to put this on first before you adhered it to the card so that you could snip the edges off. But I knew that this was going to be the right length. And again with this one, and there we go. So the next thing to do is to pop in our fronds. Just give them a tiny bit of shape. Glue on the back of the first one, and I think about there. So if I get my pokey tool and just glue that one in. Another bit of glue on the back of this one. We're going to pop another one down in this corner. So basically doing exactly the same but the opposite way. Glue that one there. So it actually could come out slightly. I want it to overhang the bottom a little bit. There we go. And then we've got some single fronds which put an odd one in here and there. So I think we could go with one just there. And then the last one, excuse me, just give it a little shape. We're going to go the opposite end, and we're going to go about there. And then the last thing to do, well actually it might not be the last, I might put some bling on this one, I don't know, is to give your dragonflies a little bit of shape. So just using your bone folder, give those a bit of shape. Using a little bit of glue just for the center. I'm going to pop him there. Going off the, looks like he's going off the page. And then the bigger one, we're going to have coming right off the top of the page here. So that's where we are at the moment. I've taken in my tiny blings. These I got from Hobbycraft. We're just going to put a few. We don't want too many, so I thought we might put one here. Could pop another one up in this corner. I want to do this is add some glitter around the edge. Now I'm going to go on this edge. You want it to look rugged, not smooth. There we go, so I've popped a bit of glue all around the edges. I'm going to take in my glitter and we'll just put some glitter all around the edge of this. There we go. Give that a good tap off. And there's our finished card. Now how beautiful is that? I hope you've enjoyed watching this really quick tutorial. Give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Until the next time, bye for now.